Reality, as shown in the static park here at RIAT 2017, with two examples of what the RAF calls the Atlas C1 from number 70 Squadron at RAF Bryce Norton, and also an in-service example from the German Luftwaffe. Here we see it demonstrated in the flying programme by its manufacturer, that being Airbus Defence and Space. The aircraft comes to us from their plant and factory airfield at Seville in Spain. It is the Airbus A400M. Into the air, a 70-degree turn after takeoff, and all the while in this display we're seeing manoeuvring of some tactical relevance, because a steep turn like that from takeoff would be used on
like this, but being thrown through its paces like it was a fast jet aircraft.
The French Air Force was the first to bring the A400M into service in 2013. It's now also in use with the RAF, the German Luftwaffe, Royal Malaysian Air Force, Spanish Air Force and Turkish Air Force. 46 of these aircraft have now been delivered to the customer nations, and the global fleet of A400Ms has amassed in the region of 16,000 flight hours. Indeed, the French have used their A400Ms to support operations in Mali, including flying off dirt strips. Turkey has employed them in Afghanistan, and they've used its capability to carry helicopters in the cargo hold. On one occasion, a pair of Bell UH-1 Hueys, on another, a Sikorsky Black Hawk. Germany has used one of its A400Ms to carry out an international aid mission to Senegal. The typical payload in the region of 20 tons. The A400M has an operating range of about 3,450 nautical miles. And the basic configuration has room inside for 66 standard size stretchers, and 25 medical personnel is flying a medical evacuation mission.
Landing capability, but the slow speed flight ability that you see now, and also the capability of very minimum radius turns, which will give any fighter aircraft really big problems of getting some form of weapon solution, especially when it's coupled with the self-defense suite, very capable self-defense suite that this aircraft has.
And that slow speed flying very useful for another of the A400M's roles, which is as an air-to-air refueling tanker, able to top up everything from helicopters to other large aircraft and fighters.
For a large aircraft like this to be manoeuvrable, it doesn't start with the aircraft getting airborne. It starts years before, during the design phase. And today we will see the aircraft with an angle of bank around about 120 degrees. And to put that into perspective, a similarly large aircraft such as the Boeing 737 or 747 is limited to an angle of bank of 30 degrees with the autopilot in, and just 60 degrees angle of bank without the autopilot. This aircraft is virtually carefree handling. That comes in large part from its fly-by-wire controls. There's the steep pull-up, and there's the wing-over that we've seen so many times over the years. Fantastic. Brilliant.
And again, tactical relevance to that, a pull up from low level into a steep wing over and then a return to low level in theatres where there's the threat from man pads and small arms fire and the like.
Yeah, absolutely. This aircraft has just gone through 180 degrees within the space of about 1,500 feet. That is true tactical capability.
This superb display being flown by an all-British flight crew on the flight deck, Anthony Flynn and Jonathan Taylor, both ex-Royal Air Force pilots, both graduates, of photographs of it during this display, and that may be beneficial to you because an A400M photo competition is underway, organised by Airbus. The best photo you take of an A400M between now and the 24th of November wins an all-expenses-paid trip to Airbus in Seville, and RIAT a very good chance this weekend to get a potentially winning shot. It's open to amateurs and professionals alike. Details at www.a400m-photocompetition.com.
For those lucky enough to be near the front, this is going to be a very impressive demonstration. Maximum thrust reverse, spoilers and very, very powerful wheel brakes will be able to stop this aircraft well inside 1,500 feet. The loadmaster down the back is actually guiding the pilots by looking out in the direction the aircraft is travelling.
And I expect it'll be turning off the runway in, well, I was going to say fairly short order, but it looks like it's going to be a taxi pass down to the intersection after the one in the middle. A brilliant demonstration by Anthony Flynn and Jonathan Taylor of Airbus Defence and Space on the Airbus A400M. But now it's time for the next of the Royal Air Force items